Welcome to the Sonoran Desert Landscaping. This video is designed to help you understand why we do not have lawns, why we use so much gravel. So I'm going to help change your mind or try to get you to understand where you're coming from, if it's a lot of wetter climate to a very dry, intense heat here. So just some pointers to help you when you're selecting your home. So here we don't have the big, beautiful lawns or the gorgeous flower beds. We do have decorative rock, which comes in all different sizes and colors. Cactus that are designed for the heat and low water. Desert trees and shrubs. And a lot of open space. So our landscapings can be colorful, peaceful, and beautiful. And it can still happen. So in the color, you can also consider the pots that you put around, the different blooms that will come on the cactus. And we definitely have a cactus bloom season, and it's absolutely gorgeous here. And again, water is very valuable, so we use it sparingly. Our goal here, my goal, is to make it easier and to benefit you when you're thinking about buying a home with landscaping. Some of the big mistakes that people moving into this area from, again, the wetter climate areas, is they bring their old yard ideas with them. They want grass. They want to use some of the same plants that they love back home. And even the way that they lay out their garden, it's totally different here. So if we don't follow, respect the desert heat, it's going to lead to dead plants, frustration, and it's not going to look very pretty. So we need to pick the right plants for the right place. Some plants love that full heat all day long. Others can only tolerate the morning sunlight. So we need to give those plants protection when it's in the heat of the day. Also, you may not consider that the heat bouncing off of the block walls or even the windows can even damage the plants. So these are some of the things that we just need to keep in mind as we're doing this. So we need to consider, where will we be putting the plants? Will it need that full sun or just the afternoons or the morning sun? How much water does it take? Will it drop leaves and pods and flowers? Especially if you're going to get a swimming pool, we really want to be conscientious of how much they drip. So is it going to be the right yard, or is it just a pretty yard? So again, we need to consider our plant choices. We want to pick native plants, low watering plants, cactus, agave, yucca, desert shrubs. There's also some very nice decorative wild grasses that gives it a neat, unique look, and desert trees. So we need to ask when we go to the nurseries or when we're looking at a listing for the first time, do we see any dead cactus? Do we see any erosion going on? So those are things, some pointers that we will discuss as we're touring the homes. So again, the rock does not mean that we've given up on landscaping. It's just a smart desert design. So there's no mowing, there's no watering. It gives it a clean look. It also helps us define our paths and our planting areas. So best yards are a mixture of rocks, plants, shade, texture, and seeding. So of course, shade does matter here in the desert. And shade helps protect the plants, also protects people. So shade comes from the trees, covered patios, the ramadas, pergolas, the shade cells, and walls. Walls can be used for shade and not just make it look pretty. Another area that you need to think about is drip irrigation. So the desert plants, when we first plant them, need a little extra water, so we want to make sure that they get that on a daily or every other day dosage. And also drip irrigation is good because it gets down into the roots. Sprinklers do not work well here. You're just roasting the plants. You're killing the leaves. So we just want to water the roots. So also consider rainwater and the monsoons. So the yards may look dry most of the time, but when the monsoons come, the water comes quickly. It moves fast. So we need to know, where does the water go? So as we're looking at homes, we want to see if there's a path that it's following. And we want to make sure that the water stays away from the home. So as we're out touring homes, we want to look, make sure that the landscaping is sloped away from the house. There's no low spots near the foundation. We again look for erosion. And how we handle this water from the monsoons is we put in some swells in the yard, dry river beds, and gravel paths. So this will all help maintain the big runoff from the monsoons. And we always pray we get lots of monsoons here. So another way that we can help bring color and some nicety into our desert landscaping is by doing raised beds and containers. They still give the garden that really unique little look, but it also helps us to maintain the moisture of the soil. And also some of them, if it's not too big, you can move it into another location. Maybe in the fall and spring you have it somewhere else, but during the heat of the summer, we move it so it can stay a little protected. So outdoor seating is another landscaping topic that you need to consider. So many buyers come here because of the outdoor lifestyle that we have pretty much all year long. So you want to make sure that your yard offers you a place to sit, have that morning coffee, or that afternoon or late afternoon, just sitting outside, the fresh air and the little breeze, watching the sunset. That's always something nice here. So, and to help us understand what plants to purchase, what to avoid, we have some great resources at our fingertips. So here in Arizona, being in Tucson, we have the University of Arizona, and they are a great resource, and they provide a lot of information to us that live here. So we want to make sure that we take good use of them. Also, your local nurseries, there's a number of them here. The small mom and pops that's been here for a long time, they really know the native plants and what the weather is and where to put this plant and that plant. So it's great that once you decide on a home, that we take photos of your yard and take it down to the nursery and show them, okay, I'm thinking I would like something here. It gets full sun, or it only gets the morning sun, and they'll be more than happy to guide you in the right direction. Also, the Tucson Botanical Gardens. If you've never been there, put it on your to-do list. It's a great place to go. Jot down or take pictures of the different plants that they have there, and then you can research them and find out if they would work in your garden. There's the Arizona Native Plant Society, and there's a number of garden clubs and community groups. So you're not left alone to decide on this, and I am not an expert at all, so I will help you get your questions answered. So to wrap it up, what makes a great Oro Valley landscaping? Well, first of all, it does not need to be big, and it definitely does not need to be green, but we need to be smart. We need the right plants, we need the right place, we need good shade, we need to know how much water to use. We use our rocks and pathways to make it look good, the drainage away from the home, and so less can be easier and less can be beautiful. To wrap up our video here, so landscaping is just one part of finding that beautiful home here in Oro Valley. Buyers need to understand lifestyle, maintenance, location, and ownership details. Look past the mountain views and those pretty listing photos. Understand the daily life will really help you. So my next video, I will be introducing that, how to understand the lifestyle here in Oro Valley, Northwest Tucson area. So again, in Oro Valley, less is best, less water, fewer mistakes, smart plant choices, and a yard that will work with the desert. Thank you. My first video that I have created is dealing with swimming pools and water. So as you have a minute, take a look at it. It will give you some more pointers on that as well.